Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Sales Athlete Podcast. And this is going to be just a quick, practical, more like sales process episode. So I'm going to talk about six keys to how you can be better at sales. So I'm just going to kind of break them down one by one, and we'll jump right in. So I think a big opinion I have is getting appointments. So cold calling, I still think you need to do that. Cold calling isn't dead. And so just heading out into a cold call motion or any sort of outbound motion, you're going to definitely want to have some sort of framework where you're not just talking about your features and benefits and talking about your services. So if you're talking to somebody and they say ring, 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 they pick up, and then you say, hey, my name's Ryan with such company, and this is what we do. I don't think you're going to find it to be very helpful. So instead, what you could do is you call them and you introduce yourself shortly and you ask for their name, and then you do a pattern interrupt and get them to start talking. So, and then I like to say, hey, this is actually a cold call. Can I have 10 seconds of your time? And your tone is going to be everything. If you're calm, if you're direct, it's going to help a lot. If you sound salesy, it won't be great. And so what I like to do after you get them to say, yeah, sure, I got 10 seconds, I would just simply state three major challenges that clients that you've worked with before had before working with you. It's very simple and easy to remember. So if I was like a sales coaching AI platform, I would say something to the tune of like, so I'm with this AI coaching platform, and what we actually do is we help companies who really have struggled to do ride-alongs or do them effectively, and then when they start to grow their team, they're struggling to see what's actually happening in the field, to have any sort of accountability and standard, and have an effective coaching methodology to up level their skills. So therefore, they're not able to get leads to convert as effectively because their sales reps aren't very good. Or they can't onboard and ramp up sales reps to the standard, and they have to have some experience, which usually means it's more expensive than somebody who's new to the industry. Does any of that ring true to you? And then when you ask that question and they say, yes, I've struggled with that issue, hey, tell me more about that. And when you say, cool, I've got that, then you can offer something for free. That's a very easy sell. So you're going to be upselling them to the next thing. So cold calling should start with a short pattern interrupt, tell why you're calling, ask for a certain amount of time, and then state 2 to 3 challenges that your ideal client faced before working with you. And then if they have a resonated issue that's connected to that challenge, you just ask them to talk a little bit more about that. And if you do that effectively, then you should just upsell them on the next thing, not try to sell them on the whole product. It's typically going to be a meeting. And so having a meeting to go a little deeper would be effectively what you could sell them on. So that's number one, is cold calling. Number two is rapport building. So I'm a big fan of rapport building. It's super important and you need to do it. I don't think it's required in every sales process, but I do think it certainly helps. And some people really like relationships. Some need to work harder at this. But I think that avoiding surface level questions, avoiding, hey, how about them Cowboys, or how about this or that, how about the weather? I mean, that's all, surface level and inauthentic. I want to tell you that authenticity and substance is what's going to carry you stronger throughout the process, and it's going to help you be better at sales. So instead of doing those surface level questions, do this instead. Go into find out on LinkedIn their background, look at their most recent post, be thoughtful and comment on it. Look around if you're in the home, if you're selling to a homeowner, for example, and you're in their home, look at the make and model of their car, look at their license plate, look at things that actually can create authentic conversation. And then if you can bring real value to that and you can have real commentary on that, that comes from experience. Now you have a common ground, and that common ground doesn't have to last a long time. You don't have to take it forever. But when you're spending time with them and you're lowering that sales resistance that everybody has, no matter who you are, I'm a sales trainer. And when I go somewhere, I have higher sales resistance when somebody comes to try to sell me something. So when they earn the right to go deeper and earn my trust, that usually happens after they've been thoughtful and have some meaningful efforts at building real authentic connections. So that's number two, is rapport building. Number three is about the popcorn. So where's my popcorn thing? Here it is. My son and I are hanging out at a baseball tournament, and we went to Dave and Buster's, and he found this popcorn. I found this popcorn item. It's like a squeezy, squishy popcorn toy. I'm like, this is perfect for a video. So popcorn will make you very rich in sales. And here's how. If you're in a movie, you're typically watching a movie and you start eating the popcorn and you're like, oh my gosh, this is such a good movie. Or look at this scene, it's so intense. They're building all this tension, the backstory, the climax is coming, and you just feel your emotions start to stir. I like action movies and thrillers. I don't like horror. That's not a fan of the horror movies, but I do like movies that build up anxiousness and fear and excitement and anticipation, and people are like about to, die or something, and then they don't, and they survive, and they just that creates a lot of tension, and tension's required whenever you are selling. And so, what I like to do is when you're in sales, you need to be almost like the director of the movie, and you're taking your hand, reaching it into the bag of popcorn, and you're going ahead and you're eating it. And what that looks like is you're visualizing through in high definition imagery and detail what you're seeing when you're asking those questions, and you're recapping, you're asking for further information, and you're getting more information and more information, and you're basically being able to summarize a scene that has emotion, that has circumstance, and that has tension. That is anchoring you into a position where you can start to create a true gap, which will start to visualize outcomes, transformation, goals, aspirations. And that gap between current agitated state and the desired future state is really what sales is all about. So eat the popcorn, make a lot of money. That's number 3. Number 4, to get to the actual decision makers, don't ask, hey, who are the decision makers who have the authority to write a check? Do this instead. Ask, who else cares about this? If you're asking somebody you're talking with about their compelling reasons to buy, that are emotional, that are circumstantial, that are based off of popcorn, like I said, you're eating popcorn and you're doing that. When you ask who else cares about this, you remain in the state of emotion, which is where people buy, and you don't zoom back up to the intellectual territorial component of the sale. And you ask in the organization or in the homeowner sales process, whoever it may be, who else cares about this? Then they're going to tell you who actually cares, and those are going to be the people that you're going to want to include in your next meeting, or in your next discovery meeting, or your next qualification meeting, or your next presentation, or your next closing call, whatever it may be. Got it? So that's number 4. Number 5, if you want to sell, which I think you should, premium, high-ticket products to people who have money and who have a lot of pain, don't sell the features and the benefits. Don't sell how awesome you are, how awesome your roofing system is, how awesome this premier HVAC unit is. Don't sell how awesome you are and how great it is. It's important, and it may be needed later. Instead, do this. Find out the cost of going with the lowest price, the cost to them of going and not doing it at all, the cost of them not doing it, trying to do it themselves, the cost of them when things go wrong. You want the cost to be twice as much as the price of your solution. If you can find out a quantified cost, or the cost of not doing it right the first time, not doing it at all, going with the lowest price, going with the alternative, if that right there, the impact of doing it twice, doing it 3 times, having to fix this or that's at risk if it's not taken care of the first time, if that cost is twice as much or more as the cost of your solution, then it is a no-brainer. It should be a no-brainer, and the gap analysis should be easy. Obviously, if you make it 10 to 1 or 20 to 1, it's even easier, right? So your price should be that kind of cheap compared to the cost of not doing it right. It makes your premium products and services, your premium work, feel like a no-brainer. So that's super important. That's number 5. Number 6, when selling B2B, especially, it could be anybody, but selling B2B, don't skip the middleman, go right to the top. What you want to do is you want to find out their middleman's compelling reasons to buy. And when you find out the middleman's compelling reason to buy, you're actually going to find out how you can partner with that individual via the decision makers who are actually there to make their life better or make them look like a hero. When you do that and they feel like you are truly their white knight that's on their side, helping their cause and their organization, or with their desires and dreams and their frustrations and making that go get better, you're actually becoming the ally that they prefer, even if it costs the owners a little bit more, even if it costs them, because at the end of the day, they're going to put their neck out for something that they believe in. And if you haven't gotten to their compelling reason to buy, they don't really believe in it, then it may not be a good fit. So truly, you can get to that white knight and have that person, that middleman, actually advocate for you instead of going the other way, which is going above them and potentially sabotaging ongoing situations. I think there's a way to do it well where you can collaborate and not sabotage long-term account relationships. So anyhow, I hope this is super helpful. These are my 6 sales tips for you on this episode today on the Sales Athlete Podcast. So share it, and hope you enjoy it. And if you got more questions or things you want me to talk about, holler at me and let me know, and I certainly will make an effort to make content around that. So hope this is helpful for you, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks.